Hello friends, my name is Mary Masters and I'm the instructor for the Bible interpretation class, Acts to Revelation. And so I want to invite you to come on an adventure with me, an adventure in learning and discovery. In this class, Bible interpretation, Acts to Revelation, we will be learning how to use both the metaphysical and the maieutic approach to Bible interpretation, specifically applied to this portion of the Christian scriptures. You know, metaphysical interpretation means going beyond the surface level, finding the deeper meaning and finding ourselves in the story, knowing that each character and each place and every change of place in a story represents something that's going on with our own consciousness, that we can find timeless wisdom in ancient stories. And then I love the maieutic approach to interpretation. Maieutic comes from a Greek word meaning midwife. And so it's really about learning to become a spiritual midwife, to give birth to the wisdom that's already within us, that using the Bible and these tools to kind of reach deeper inside ourselves and give birth to the wisdom that we already have within us. So in the first 3 weeks of the class, we'll be using both of these interpretive methods to look at the book of Acts, to get to know Peter and get to know Paul and all the disciples better. You know, Paul's story about his conversion on the road to Damascus. I'm thinking about, that he was, something happened there that caused him to have a great awakening, and at first there were scales on his eyes and he was blinded and he couldn't see, and then the scales fell off his eyes and he saw with new vision, and he was obviously on fire with what his mission and his purpose was to be in life. And I think about maybe you're considering taking this class is about to be your road to Damascus experience, that something's going to happen for you in this class that's really going to kind of break open your understanding and your wisdom about what is your purpose and mission in life. So over the course of the 7 weeks in this class, we'll look at Paul's missionary journeys, all the places he went to. He traveled thousands of miles, and when we contrast that to Jesus, who we think maybe never traveled more than 100 miles from his birthplace, but Paul traveled to 17 major cities and thousands of miles, and there were some things that kept happening in his life, some patterns that kept him moving on, that kept pushing him to the next place and the next place. And really, I feel like I think you will find your own life experience, the things that move us forward in our lives to make a major change, were the same things that kept Paul moving forward. And he just seemed to have this knack for always knowing when he had to get out of Dodge, and to live to preach another day. So we'll look at that. And then we'll spend some time with the letters and the epistles. And I like to call this section Appreciating the Art of Great Letter Writing. And so we'll delve into some of those letters, and of course many of them are beautiful, inspiring passages. And there's some things in there that cause us to go, ouch, that for modern day readers and our Unity students that doesn't quite work for us today, but we'll look at those passages too and find some meaning and wisdom in that. And then the last 2 weeks of this class, we'll look at the book of Revelation. And I feel like that material is so important, and it's one of those books that in Unity we tend not to look at very much, but I love the fact that in the very first chapter, John says that this material is so important that a great blessing is promised to anyone who reads the book aloud. Well, the good news is I'm not going to ask us to read the book aloud in the class. That would take about 2 hours, but we will read it, and we'll find the deeper wisdom through our metaphysical and maieutic interpretation, so that by the end we will be in that place that John talked about when he said, "Behold, I am making all things new." that you'll be able to look not just at the Bible, at these sections in the Bible, but at areas of your life and see things in a new way, because you will be transformed through your process of becoming an even more proficient and comfortable student of Bible interpretation. So in this class, I think we're really about gaining skills for a lifetime. That whether you're a spiritual explorer and this is your first Unity class, or whether you're pretty far along and you're taking classes to become a credentialed Unity leader, I can guarantee you that this class will help you to deepen your relationship with the Bible. So you can refer to the syllabus for the class for the books that will be required for this class, and we'll talk about those on the very first Collaborate session. But I like to think it's really about we're packing our tools, packing our knapsack for this journey, and putting together the tools that we need to go on this adventure in exploring wisdom together. So Paul would often greet people by saying grace and peace to you, and I'd like to leave you with that message as well. Grace and peace to you, my friend. I look forward to getting to know you through this class.